and welcome to another video in the graph series. As we had discussed in the last video as well, flood fill algorithm is going to be used to solve a lot of questions. So needless to say, it is extremely commonly used and it is very, very important. But I had already told you this in the last video. Why am I talking about it again? Because most of the people, when they talk about flood fill algo, they usually just think that we are going to do it using BFS. Most of the people do that. But you should not be doing that. You should know that both the traversals, both DFS and BFS, can be used for these algorithms to solve these questions. So yes, that is what we are going to be doing today. We are going to solve the same question using BFS. It is very, very important that you get used to both the traversals and that you don't miss any videos in the series. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Before we move ahead, I would just like to take a moment to remind you to be consistent and make sure you do not miss any videos in the graph series. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. You will also stay motivated and you have no idea how much your support will mean to me. There's so much of free content available on the channel. There's HLD, LLD, DSA, Advanced C++, tutorials, mock interviews and so much more. So if you think I deserve your support, please subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. And there's obviously a bunch of stuff that I cannot do on YouTube, like mock interviews, live interactive classes. So we have educourses.com, we have live courses, self-paced courses with live doubt solving support, which both of them we have mock interviews, and we have a lot planned in LLD, HLD, Advanced C++, DSA and so much more. You have no idea. So if you want me to be part of your further learning journey process, please check it out. The link is in the description. And now let's continue. Let's quickly look at what the question meant. So it's called flood fill. We are given an image. So this image is m by n. And each point in this image represents a pixel value, correct? We are given SRSC in color. So like in this example, SRSC is 1, 1. So basically we are over here. And we are given a color. What does color mean? So basically each pixel over here has a color. You can see, right? 0 and 1s. Right? So first we have to see this source row, source column has what color? Like in this case, source row, source column has 1. Right? The color is 1. Now what we have to do is apply flood fill. What is flood fill? So basically from this starting point, we will see whatever adjacent neighbors or the neighbors of those had the same color as the original color. So basically this original color becomes 1, right? The initial color is 1. Now from here we will keep checking, oh, this is also 1. Oh, this is also 1. So we have to go in 4 directions, right? So we have to go 4 directionally, which is up, down, right, left, okay? So we have to go in the 4 directions and do what? We have to basically color them with this new color, which is 2. So if you can see, this 1 is converted to 2. Similarly, this 1 is converted to 2. This 1 is converted to 2. Then again from here recursively. So because we are thinking of recursive, you think that, okay, this is obviously DFS. But not necessarily. So we are going to do this using BFS as well. So from here, we go to its neighbor, which is basically this, and then color those also as 2. Similarly, from here, we come over here and then we color this as 2. But here, we cannot come like from here or from here because they are colored 0. So this remains as 1 and then these remain as 0. Similarly, in this example also, the source row, source column given is 0, 0, which is essentially this, right? The color is given as 0. So the new color that is given, which is 0, is actually same as the original color. So you basically make no change and return the same thing as it is. So let's try writing the BFS code. We'll be starting with C++. So this is the code that we had written in DFS. I'll be making the changes in the same code so that you realize how small changes are there or how similar the codes are. So here, as you can see, how did we start? We first found the original color, basically what was the color at SRSC. Then we saw that if the new color from which we have to paint and the original color are same, then we are going to return the grid as it is. We're going to return the image. We don't have to make any changes. Basically, this is handling the second example. After that, I just found the size of the image in NM and then we did DFS. Now in this solution, instead of DFS, we are going to be doing BFS. How do we do BFS? What do we use in BFS? We use a queue, correct? A queue of what? In this case, what is a node in the graph being represented by? Like how is it being represented? Now in this, each element in this image is a node of the graph, correct? Because we have to go from one point to its neighbors, neighbors, neighbors. How is that point represented? By a row and a column. So it's basically 2 numbers, right? So it is basically a pair of integer and integer, correct? So that is what we are going to make the queue of. And in the starting, I obviously need to push the starting point, right? From where am I going to start doing the BFS, which is basically my SRSA. But every time I push to the queue, I need to make sure that I mark that point as visited. I basically need to process it or mark it as visited to make sure that I do not keep pushing the same point again and again, right? So I have to make the change before pushing it ideally. So what am I going to do? Basically, whatever is the color at this SRSC, so image of SRSC, I'm going to change this to the new color. So this is how I marked it as visited, or I'm going to make sure that I do not keep pushing it into the queue again and again. Why? Because I'm going to push into the queue only if the color is of the original color. I've changed the color now. It is not same, only then I've come to this code. So I've made sure that I do not push this again and again. So I've pushed my initial element into the queue. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to keep doing the BFS till when? Till the queue is not empty. So while the queue is not empty, what do I need to do? First, I need to take out the first element in the queue, right? The first element that was pushed into the queue. So that will give me basically the row and column that I have to deal with right now. So suppose row is basically whatever is there in queue ka front, ka first will be my row, and column will be my queue ka front ka second. Now note that here I have just gotten the elements, I have not popped it from the queue. In C++ especially, just remember these things, we need to pop it explicitly. I have popped it. So the element that I am dealing with is R and C. Now what do I need to do? I need to go to its neighbors and see if they have the same color as the original color. So that is essentially exactly the same code as this. So I am literally just copy pasting and putting it over here. Okay. And I'm removing this DFS function because we do not need it anymore. So literally the same code I've copy pasted, and let's see what all things do I need to change. So this is to go to all the 4 directions. Then I need a for loop. I saw that, okay, what is the new R, new C to which I'm going to go to. So basically in R and C, I am adding this direction of K0 and direction of K1. So I have this new R, new C. I'm checking whether it is safe to go to this new R and new C. How am I checking that? I am checking that using this function. I'm checking whether it is in bounds or not. And I'm checking if the color of this new R, new C is the original color. But the only difference is that instead of doing the DFS, what am I going to do? Firstly, I'm going to change the color because it is the same as the original color. So what am I going to do? In this image of new R, new C, I am going to put color, just like how we did over here, right? Similar thing I am doing over here also. I am just changing the color and then I am pushing it to the queue, and that's it. We are actually done with the code. Let's try to run it and see. Let's submit it and see. Very simple, right? So this is why it is very, very important to understand the basics of BFS, DFS, everything. If you are having any trouble, please make sure you watch all the videos in this series line by line. You'll be able to understand these concepts very, very easily. Let me know that you understood and you tried the question yourself in the comments, and see you next time. It would mean a lot to me. Let's get started with Java for now. Coming to the Java code, this is the code that we had written in the previous video. This is the DFS code. We'll be making the changes to the same code to understand how similar the codes for BFS and DFS are, or how small number of changes we have to make. So here let's understand what we had done. So initially I found the original color, basically what was the color at SRSC, which is original color, and I saw if the original color and the new color are same. Basically I'm handling the second example. I'm just returning the image. I'm avoiding all the processing. After that, I just found the number of rows, number of columns, n and m, the dimensions of the image. And now, instead of doing the DFS, in this solution, we'll be doing BFS, right? Now, in BFS, what do we use? We use queue. But a queue of what? Now, a queue of basically the nodes, right? How is the node represented over here? Now, here, the node is basically each element in this image. Each element in this image is basically 2 values, row and column. It is represented by row and column, right? So it is 2 values. So how do I have 2 values in the queue? So for that, what I'm going to do, a very simple thing, I'm going to create a new class pair of this first and second. So basically row and column, I'm going to create a pair. Let me show you. It is very, very easy. No need to freak out. You will see this being done in a lot of questions in Java, especially in the matrix questions, because each point is represented by row and column, right? So I'm creating a class pair. and I need two values inside this, right? The first and the column, the first and the second. Basically, you could also call it row and column. I'm calling it first and second. And I also need the constructor. So whenever I have to basically create this pair, I'll be passing two values. I'll be passing the first and the second. And I'll also be assigning these values. So how do I do that? So this ka first will be equal to the first that I have passed, and this ka second will be equal to the second value that I have passed. So in this Q, what is the Q of? The Q is of the pair, and I'm going to just go like Q of pair equal to new linked list. Okay, and where do I start from? I need to push the first initial values, right, which is basically the source row and the source column. How am I going to do that? I'm going to push it into the Q. So basically Q dot add, and I need to make the new pair. So new pair, and what am I going to pass? The source row and the source column. But every time I add something to the queue, I need to make sure that I don't keep adding the same point again and again. I need to make sure that somehow I mark it as visited. Basically, what we have to do is we have to change color every time we visit a particular element, right? So what am I going to do is I'm going to change the color of SRSC before pushing it to the queue itself, so that the next time when I come to the queue, it is basically a good way of doing it, that before pushing it to the queue itself, we are marking it as visited. So image of SRSC, what am I doing? I am changing the color to the new color that I have to change to. Basically now every time I come to this point again, SRSC, I will make sure that I do not visit it again. Why? Because I've already visited it, I've already changed its color. Now while pushing, every time I'm going to check the color, it should be original color only, then I'm going to push it to the queue. Because I've changed the color, I've made sure it is marked visited, or I'm not going to visit it again and again. So we have pushed our source row and source column. Now we can get started with our BFS. What do we do in BFS? We go through the entire queue till it is not empty, right? So while the queue is not empty, I'm going to keep going through the elements. I first need to take out the first element, the frontmost element, right? How am I going to do that? The frontmost element or the first element is going to be a pair, right? I'm going to call it current itself. And what are the two values inside that? The row and the column, correct? How can I get that? So if I just do q.remove, I basically have the pair with me. I don't just have the current row and column inside this, but I've also removed it from the queue, right? Because I've popped it from the queue. I've called remove. Now what do I need to do? I need to know that what are the row and the column. So in this current, whatever is the first value is the row, and whatever is the second value is basically the column. What do I need to do now? I need to obviously go through its neighbors. How do I do that? Basically the same code from here, I'm going to copy paste it, right? And instead of using BFS, I'm basically doing BFS, so I do not need this. I'm going to remove this entire function. I do not need it now. And I'm going to use the same code. So let's see what was there in the code. First thing, I have a direction 2D array. What is there in this? So basically to go to the 4 directions, how am I getting that? So I have a for loop to go through these 4 directions, right? So new row, how am I getting? Whatever is the current row, the 0th one is for the row and first one is for the column, correct? So that is how I'm adding it. Row plus direction of K0, column plus direction of K1. Now that I have the new row and the new column, I'm checking whether it is safe to go there or not, whether it is in bounds or not. How am I checking that? Basically, my row and column should be within the bounds of N and M. That is how I'm checking it. If it is safe and if the color was basically original color, only then I need to do something. But here, instead of doing the DFS, what do I need to do? I need to do two things, right? The first thing that I need to do is basically mark it as visited or change the color. How can I do that? So basically the same thing that we did over here, image of SRSC equal to color. Now, instead of doing for SRSC, I will do for this new row and new column. And now that we have changed the color, we can nicely add it to the queue. Again, we have to create a new pair. So, new pair, and now the pair is of this new row and new column. And we are actually done with the code. Let's try running it and see. Great, that works. Let's submit it and see. So yes, we have passed all the test cases. As you saw, this was like very easy, right? We made very little changes, but I hope now you should be able to do all these algorithms using PFS and DFS both. Let me know in the comments if you understood it. If you are having any problem, make sure that your basics of DFS, BFS are clear. Make sure that you are watching the entire series. You're not missing anything. You'll become a pro in graphs. That is my promise. But try writing the code yourself. Let me know in the comments that you understood, that you tried the code yourself. It would mean just so much to me. Make sure you're consistent and see you next time.